Hung Up Fam, tonight I'm joined by Seven Taylor, someone that I've been following on TikTok and social media for a minute now. They're an artist, podcaster, and spiritual connector. I can't wait to get into all that. His work has inspired all of his thousands of followers to explore healing, self-discovery, and the unseen. Okay, that
Mm.
very curious about that. That's a big part of well, I think it was a video that I saw on TikTok, and I was like, wait, I want to have you on the show. I want to talk about this. So, Hung Up Fam, tonight we're going to be talking about everything from celebrity medium connections to creating as a Black queer artist, building community through podcasting and the lessons that Seven has learned along the way. It's good to see you, friend, and welcome.
Yes. Yes, it's a
Welcome
big
to my
welcome and thank you
shit.
for having me. I'm excited. It was divine alignment. It was definitely divine
It
alignment.
was divine alignment, and we're gonna let it be known you a spiritual connector. You wouldn't even be
Hmm.
talking to me if you
Yes.
didn't get a good vibe, if you didn't,
Right.
you know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah. No, I always definitely have that initial energy, like, what's a given, what's going on? But I always felt like it was a very genuine and Kim, and I enjoy the interviews and things that you do. So I was like, I might as well, come on over to your side of the town,
yeah.
be a guest.
I'm glad you did because you see my videos. I be having community all up on the microphone.
Yes, and I love that too. It's needed. It's really, really needed for anyone that's navigating media and, just tapping into those spaces. We need individuals like yourself. So it's a delight to be here.
I appreciate that. And we got people like you
Always.
too, very unique, um, talented, gifted,
Oh,
and really
thank
just
you.
like in an
Yeah.
authentic and very raw and uncut way, just sharing with the world. And that's on your TikTok. So
Yes.
be sure, go ahead. I gave you a light introduction, but please, Seven, introduce yourself. Let the
Yes.
people know where they can follow you, the social medias, and how community can tap in and support Seven Taylor.
Yes. Well, let me get to the front. But yeah. So if anyone want to follow me or tap into anything that I prescribe or, do, I'm Seven Taylor. I always say I'm a universal spiritual connector because that was a name that was given to me spiritually. Or well, I should say a title that was given to me spiritually. Seven was given to me spiritually as well before. And we'll get into that as well. um, and I always say I'm at service of those at service of themselves because the help comes from within, not without. Without is the assistance, but the within is the actual engine that gets the things going. So you can find me on all social media platforms. You can Google me as well. Seven Taylor, I'll pop up. I'll be in, we're waiting for you. Yeah, it's the same name on all platforms. Seven Taylor on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc. My website is getting some reboots right about now, but if you want to book through the website, you can, blissby7.com, or you can hit me up directly and we can go from there.
You know what? That's really dope. So with the booking, people can book sessions with you. I actually
Yeah.
just saw that video on TikTok
Yeah.
and like describe that. Like what would I experience booking with Seven Taylor?
So I have a variety of different like services that I provide. So I like to call what I do in regards to if someone's trying to connect with a loved one or maybe their favorite celebrity or etc. As long as I have access to it, I call it soul sessions because I feel like that's the session for the soul. We're connecting in, we're seeing what's going on during those sessions as well. I'm also allowing space to read and chart with your energy, see what's been bothering you. I've had a lot of cases where I know immediately what's the hiccup with someone's timeline of life, what they keep going to, who they keep going back to, toxic relationships, etc. Like I have a
Going back to
variety
that
of
old
different
thing.
clientele.
Okay. You can't lie to
Right.
Seven. You come up in that session, Seven gonna see all that mess.
Yeah, and it's really about, I think what is the most trivial thing about my sessions is the fact that they're very authentic for one, accurate two, but for three, it's a space where you can just be yourself. I try to always make sure that I create spaces that individuals could feel in tune and loved and also still get some tough love, but not too tough love. You know, not too
Mhm.
much to bruise you up, but enough to say it's time for you to step into your light and be who you are supposed to be in your timeline of living. You know, but the sessions go deep.
Well, I can imagine, especially, if you're
Yeah,
able to tap in with
yeah,
someone who's transitioned. And I noticed you said as long as you can access
yeah.
that person. And so
Yeah.
sometimes you're cut like explain that. There's a cutoff
So,
or
well,
there has to
immediately
be an
I'm
image.
with you. I'm picking up a grandmother energy just talking to you for one.
Hey
um,
grandma.
but but what I would say, and I keep being brought to like I don't know, but like a particular toy or something that you liked when you were younger.
Oh,
Like it just all these different things coming to me as I'm talking to you.
wow.
Um,
I know
but
exactly
what
what
I
you're
would
talking about
say,
too.
okay,
Yeah, I
certain
do. Mhm.
souls have certain tiers. And when you complete certain sectors of your spiritual experience, you're able to access more information about your past life and so on and so forth. And a lot of times when people do come to me, they want to do like past life regression sessions, which I provide as well. I also do numerology and all those things as well. Um, but if I tap into someone's energy and I feel like there's like a blockage of that particular information, I say you're not ready for that yet. Like you still have some things that you have to iron out within what you're accessible now to before we go into like a regression of your past lives and so on and so forth. But instantaneously, a lot of times I already know what someone past life was, how many children they had, if they were married or they're not married, how they died, and so on and so forth. So it goes deep.
That goes real deep. I'm a
Yeah.
listen, be on the lookout for me because within this next week, I'm definitely going to book a session with you
Yes. Yes. Come.
because I'm very spiritual. I'm very tapped into, at least I feel for where I'm at in my journey. I liked how you
Right.
pointed that out. You
Hmm.
don't just arrive. You know what I mean? There's
It's a
actual
journey.
work. There's things and there's things you have to actually go through and experience.
Yes.
And my grandmother, my father, and my two brothers have all transitioned, and I
Yeah.
feel like they're all my guardian angels. I talk to them all the
Especially your
time.
grandmother.
You
Like
said,
her energy is all, especially your grandmother. Her energy is all over you.
"Oh
That's how
yeah,
I was like. I
Alice."
feel like grandma energy.
And
Yeah.
that was Alice. She had a very big any room
Hmm.
Alice
Did she
entered.
occasionally wear glasses or like or have glasses to like maybe read things or see things at times?
Yes,
Because
yes.
I keep seeing that, but it's like it's a very nurturing. She has a very nurturing energy to her.
You know,
So yeah.
I'm gonna have to book my session with you.
Yes, come. I definitely give you a good old cute discount as well. But yes, come.
Okay,
Come
okay.
on and let's tap in.
Because I'm gonna get back on the mic and let the people know and spread the word because
Yes.
it's okay, y'all. Like I feel like I want to say Western ideology or like
Right.
American, I gotta say it, Christian ideology, like this religious
Yes.
stuff that was they took from us our indigenous spirituality and what we were
Hmm.
doing and in Africa and called that witchcraft, right?
That part.
And then gave us a book and said this is what you need to do, but now we're coming to find out, well, the oppressor would never give us something to save us, y'all. So let's actually think this
Hello.
through, right?
Right. No,
So
I always say that. Yeah.
yeah, so I really appreciate uh people like you who are willing to really and honestly like carry. That's what's coming to me right now
Come on now, you
I
better tap in. Go ahead.
because I just can't imagine and you can share
Hmm.
that that's not always easy
Oh no.
to carry, or maybe you don't even call it carrying.
Yeah.
But how do you describe this experience of?
I always feel like it's a responsibility to be a messenger between the physical and spiritual realm because you want to make sure that whatever message or energy you're prescribing to someone is that something like from in my experiences, I want to advance you as a soul. I want you to be advanced as a person as well, but mainly we want to focus in on your soul because again, working on the inner shines on the outer. And a lot of times when people are lost or they're again going through particular spiritual psychosis and so on and so forth, they're trying to figure out what and how and why do they not connect with the previous life that they lived, whether they were deconstructing religion or so on and so forth, where they were trying to get away from their religious Bible thumpers of family and stuff like,
Yeah.
so I try to make sure that when I am having session or space, or even sometimes I could be sitting on the bench. Um, and actually, a few weeks ago, I was doing a soul session, and Chris Rock, the actor, literally came into my space, and I had some glasses on though, and he seen I was on a phone call, so he just kind of like he was about to sit next to me, but he ended up just moving over a little bit to give me respect. But he kept staring at me, so I was just like,
Okay.
"Who's this man?"
Now,
you
hold
know,
up now because
and I noticed it.
you got me you're gagging me a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
So
I'm
because
sorry.
Chris Rock is still alive,
Yeah, yes.
so
No,
we're talking
physically he is.
about people. You can also connect with people who are here, human,
Yeah, yeah.
not human. That's not what I meant to say. Who are
Well, you
living.
gotta. Well,
Right?
sometimes
Are
it's
are they human?
right,
Are
right,
they?
right.
Okay, all the tea.
Yes.
So like because I've even heard of that, like people, especially when you dream,
Hmm.
if you're
Oh my
that tapped
gosh.
in, you can move, you can go
Yeah,
places.
the Astro realms. Yeah.
So the astral realms, you're
Hmm.
able to connect with people, and you're saying you connected with Chris Rock in the
No, I
astral
physically.
realm.
No, he was physically next to me. I was in a city. I was in like the
Oh,
Chelsea.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
village.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, my
So
bad.
I just happened to be finishing up a soul session, and I'm giving her the little ending, concluding spaces to the soul session, and he comes, and this is like the second time that I've had, like, far as like living back in New York, that I've had a celebrity encounter. Because one time I was just walking, heading to go meet my fiance, and Akon is on a corner singing. I don't know why is Akon over here singing on a corner, randomly before the whole crowd of people started like swarming him. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I've always had a space where celebrities, even Nicki Minaj, where they connect in with me in a certain type of way that I feel like they know and see my light. So it's kind of like I can see them outside of lenses of how other people may prescribe these celebrities, like praising them and all that stuff like that. Like I can give somebody the tens, but I tend to see people for who they are,
Mm.
and I know I'm also a part of that world too, the entertainment business. So I know how it is when someone actually see you, how grand that is, that experience. But I've connected with Michael Jackson, Astro round wise, and Soul Session wise. I've connected with Whitney Houston. I've connected with Aaliyah, Luther Vandross, uh, Child. I had Clive Davis come to me way before he passed in the Astro realm, and I made a
Yeah.
whole video about that as well. That one went viral too, about him trying
Oh,
to
I
get me
haven't
to.
even seen that one yet. I gotta go check
Yeah,
that out. Okay.
yeah, it's a whole lot. I had King Von. It was all different. Like the videos are going viral again. Once again, like I was like, okay, my notifications doing that thing again where it's like people keep
Bing,
reposting,
bing,
reposting,
bing.
reposting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I have the ability to I connecting with souls. So even if someone is in a odd place in life, I can and they're still living, I still can connect them with their soul to see what's really going on outside of them being caught up in the physicality, which I call it physical magic.
I see what you're saying.
You
And so
know,
that's why you're saying you've been able to really connect with, especially like
mhm,
celebrities. You're able to see them outside of
of
a
what
lot of
we're
what they're judged about,
right,
honestly. And
exactly.
in most times than not in a good way or a positive light. Like, you
Yes.
mentioned Nicki. Um,
Yeah.
Nicki has, especially recently, been in a lot of heat when it comes to the media and
Right.
her, political affiliations. I'm just curious, and I'm you name the names: Nicki, Michael, Whitney, Aaliyah, and I have a question for each of these. I'm assuming that
Hmm.
all these videos are on your TikTok, right?
Yes.
All right. So for the people listening, we're gonna Seven will give us a little snippet, but
Yes.
you need to go to the TikTok to get the
Yeah.
full story. And so repeat your TikTok again, Seven.
It's Seven Taylor, my name.
Okay.
So it's spelled just like that, and they could find me that way. I should pop right up if they're not banning me or anything like that. But yeah, I should pop up. The
Haters.
little shadow banning every now and then. But
Every
yeah,
now and again, right? Okay,
yeah,
the woes of being a black content creator. Ugh. Okay.
clock it, clock
And
it.
it's
But
been
I would
clocked.
say with
Yes.
Nicki,
Yeah.
so I sampled her on, I'm a music artist as well. So I sampled her on my album, The Clip Off, which that is a very spiritual album as well, very transitional, a lot of tea, a lot of different things in that
Mhm.
particular album. And I worked with a lot of amazing people on it. But she did this thing where she was doing like the Nicki trivia, or it wasn't, no, actually it wasn't Nicki trivia. It was before the Nicki trivia thing. It was something that she wanted us to like hashtag or do. And I ended up putting it, and she ended up saying my name. And the way she said my name, I said, well, you know what? She is one of the greats. Let me actually hold on to this audio and put it somewhere where it'll do its best thing, which I sampled it on one of my songs on the clip off. But me and Nicki have always had a very spiritual in tune space. I feel like when did she, well, she did unfollow me at one point. um, and I
She goes
think
through her
more so,
things.
yeah, she's gone through like this very like vetting space of things, but I've always said things to her spiritually that we connected in on. Like one time I talked about her relationship with her son, her being a Sagittarius, him being a Libra. I'm a Libra, my mom's Sagittarius. I
Oh,
already
okay.
know how that relationship goes. We tend to balance out our parents a lot. When they fire us, and I got two fire sign parents. And, so I said that he would be the one that would balance her out through her journey. And she ever tweeted it and stuff like that. So we've always had a hindsight of seeing each other's stuff. And especially when she was following me for a very long time. Like
Hmm.
I said, once she got to this particular chapter of her life, I guess me and a lot of other people got the boot. Which I feel like us being spiritual would be the best people to keep around you. Because I always know when something spiritually is going on with Nicki. I see them in the Astro realm all the time. And that's where I get a lot of my information from with celebrities or predictions, etc. I see it. I
In
see it
the
as
astro
clear as day, and
realm.
then I bring it. Huh?
In the astro realm,
In the Astro realm, yeah.
which
And it's
is
a
a
difference between the
place.
astral realm and dreams too, by the way.
Okay, can
I can
you?
break that down to you too.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
dreams is like you're going along with it. It's already planned out.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to go through the door, jump, fall, whatever the situation is.
Mm-hmm.
Astral realm experiences, you are conscious. I can pick up this drink, walk to the door, turn the light off, etc. You're very conscious of what you're doing. And a lot of times people will say, "Oh, I just had a dream." No, but no, you had an astral experience. It was very, very vivid. Dreams can be vivid too as well, but it'd be very vivid and very. It's so much spiritual energy I'm having talking to you, so I'm actually fighting through it because like they
Mm.
want to communicate. Um, but it's very such a strong consciousness that you feel. Like even when you leave the astral realm, and if you work on your skills a lot, you can inhabit a lot of memory, like bringing a lot of things back to you. Like sometimes I'm reading books there. Sometimes I'm listening to music that we never heard, in the earth realm just yet. Sometimes I'm visiting people's shops and stuff like that. Sometimes I know the girls that are doing um, the craft and so on and so forth, but maybe they're doing it in a negative way. So I'm always aware of exactly what's going on. And I think even now, I'm 32. Well, no, 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 I'm 31, about to be 32. So I'm 31 years old. I'll
You
be
a young
32
bull.
in
Yeah.
October. Okay. But okay. But as early as I can think, I feel like I always was connected to the dream world before other aspects of my gift kicked in. Because my gift is actually like a family passed down gift. My mom is a
Mm,
medium as well.
mm.
So and both sides of my family are very spiritual and gifted. So I guess it
You
was
getting it
definitely
from
gonna
both
come to me.
sides. It was inevitable for you to
Yes,
just.
it's like I was running and it was like we still got you. Yes,
That's very interesting. And so
yeah.
you brought up Michael as well.
Hmm.
Uh, what is something that stood out to you from your interactions with Michael Jackson?
You want to know what was the most trivial thing? I would say with Michael, because okay, I had an Astro experience. This was like last year. This was like last August. I had an Astro experience where me and Michael were playing charades, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, Tito," and he started chasing me, around the vicinity, and there was other people there, but I mainly was focusing on Michael. And when I woke up, I was like, "Oh, I think that's an invitation to do a soul session with him." So I went to go record a podcast episode, and I just was like, you know what? Let me try to see if I can tap in with Michael. And I did, and I ended up tapping in with him. And I would say the most trivial thing is, even in spirit, he still has that superstar energy.
Mm.
Like I felt I was in the presence of a superstar. Like it's a certain type of energy, and he was very, very respectful, gentle energy. We talked about a lot of stuff. I'm definitely link you that episode as well. Um, but we talked about a lot of things in regards to why he did certain things and so on and so forth. And I'm actually going to be tapping in with him again tomorrow night. I do like a class. I have an 8-week course going on. Spirit is running through me right now. I
Wow.
have an 8-week course going
Okay.
on right about now
Okay.
where it's the spiritual musical thesis, where I'm breaking down a lot of black entertainers and their actual spiritual archetype and music, and why you're connecting to this artist. Sometimes it's not just about their musical abilities. It's
What you're
actually,
hearing, you're
yes,
taking it deeper.
yeah, we're going deep, like the deep blue sea, you know. And I've always been that type of learner. I really never care for surface level conversations or
Come
surface
on.
level people. Go
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
You go deep, like the what was that? Go deep by Janet,
Janet. Ooh, the
or
Velvet Rope.
on that album, The Red Velvet. It's definitely something that I feel like when people do see it live, because I do these things live as well, especially when I'm in the mood to do all those things. It's something that you learn from, And even when I did the King Von one, which I was an opener to the 8-week course, not only did I talk to him in the same session, I talked to Juice World, and then to combine the situation of both being from Chicago, which I didn't know, and a lot of other stuff that came to me. I'm gonna link that to you as well. Um, it was a lot of information that my partner he wrote down as I was channeling in the class, and then he was confirming it in real time, like certain names, certain things, and stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, you know.
Is that why you
So,
think the King Von, did I get that name right? King Von, do you think, is that the
mhm.
reason why that video went viral?
Yes, because King Von energy came to me in 2023. He'd been wanting to speak with me for a very long time.
Mm.
And at that time, I denied him because I felt like, and I'm a very big person that, with certain energies. Um,
Well, yeah,
but
because
I
I feel like
denied
in the
for,
video you mentioned his video was a little murderous.
yes. Like when so sometimes spirit, and also I work with and still connect with Marilyn Monroe, but I'll tell you about that as well too.
Okay.
Because she's a big, I think she was like the first spirit that I ever went to the astral realm and was conscious about. And I'll tell you about that too. I can't forget my girl. But I will say, King Von, what spirits do is they'll lead me to things that's connected to their life. Like if they watch a certain type of movie when they were alive, or they ate a certain type of food, or etc., they'll lead me down that path so I can build up communication with them. What he did is one day I was trying to take a nap, couldn't take a nap. I stumbled on YouTube somehow, and I came across this documentary that was on him. And as I'm watching the documentary, the nap time was over because I'm intrigued. I'm like, I didn't know this. And once I got into the documentary and I realized, I'm like, this man was a murderer. Like he was a serial killer. Like he had so many people that he was, you know.
See, I don't know
And
nothing about this man. I'm like, oh my God,
right, I
not a
was like
serial
literally
killer.
gagging. I was like, okay. And so when he led me to that, then that's when I asked the trivial thing. I'm like, okay, so why are you leading me to this? So that but he want to help,
Mm.
you know, and that's what I found out more in the session because years later I finally did a session with him, which was, I could link that to you, and it was it was more so of him just wanting to speak his piece and let me know like I'm just connecting to you because I can see you because they can see me on the other side. I'm like a light, a door, etc. So that's how spirits know when and how to communicate with me. So I feel like sometimes people, I guess they can misjudge certain individuals on how they live their life. I connected in with his soul. I didn't connect in with the person that was running around here doing all that
Mm.
yang yang yang. I can't. I connected with the innocent aspect of him to see exactly what was the consciousness behind it. and
Okay.
why did you do it and what led you to it. And a lot of things around that was just his friends and people knew that he would be the one to, da 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 da. So let's get him high, let's get him drunk, and then let's start some, some bull crap.
Mm,
So that's what I end up learning through that session. I was like, okay, you really didn't want to always be that person. It was the environment that was
the
enticing.
influence.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the case a lot of times.
Yeah.
You mentioned, so the sessions, are those your podcasts?
So sessions is private. Um, if I'm doing like a celebrity session, then yes, it sometimes. And in my class, those are more private. Like it'll be like people will join from a link like this, and then
Oh, okay.
get
Okay.
into it, stuff like that. Sometimes I do them live as well. Depends if I'm in the mood for that, but more so because I want to teach people that are actually interested in learning.
Mhm.
I have an actual, roster of students, and it's a 8-week semester, and we just join in and stuff like that. We're like, this is going to be the third class because we just recently started. I was waiting for everyone to, you know, get their dockets in order and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for like soul sessions, you can call me like this and we can tap in with you and what's going on with you and what's connected with you as well. But those things are always more on a confidential,
Oh, okay. Got you.
confidentiality aspect. Yeah.
When you said you were going to link me to the sessions, I was thinking maybe it was like a podcast or something that you were
Oh
going
no,
to.
no. So those sessions, yeah, the celebrity one, yeah,
Okay.
I have those. So I have some. The Michael Jackson one is a recorded one, but it's
Mhm.
audio, and then the other ones are actual. Like the recent ones is video ones, so you can actually see me, doing my work.
Got you. Got you. And
you
seven,
know.
reminding people the name of your podcast so they can go look at it. Go find it.
Yes, so I'm a Venus child. I was born under Venus. I'm a Libra. So the podcast is the Miseducation of a Child Born Under Venus, which is me. Hey y'all. And it is basically is a trivial space where I have a lot of very complex, deep, not surface level conversations, but I really go deep into sharing a lot of my theologies, ideas about life, spirituality. You get a lot of tea. We talk about a lot of things up there.
Yeah, especially
And
with these names you drop in. Yes.
oh yes, yes, and I think as well, a lot of times, like when I talked about connecting in with BK Tidal Wave, Nivea. I mean, what is her name? That's not Nivea. What is her real
Tidal
name?
wave. Do I need
But
to?
BK Tidal Wave, she did the video of if y'all come over here, Obama gonna. She from New York,
Hmm.
but
I
BK
just
Tidal Wave.
searched
But I'm
her.
trying to think of her real name. It's not coming to her, but she goes by BK Tidal Wave.
It's not Nino B.O. Washington,
Yes,
the Queen of Brooklyn.
yes.
Got it. Yep.
She had a lot of viral videos and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see. Yes, yes, yes. She's yeah, and she passed, right?
Yeah, yeah. Some very suspicious things around that, but yeah,
Really? You've been
yeah.
able
She
to
ended up
connect with
coming to
her?
me. hmm She came to me in 2021, and that's what led me on a particular celebrity's desk, and I did some work with them that should be coming out soon. But I did some filming work with them. But as I said, a lot of my viral videos are actually leading me on particular people that I even know that will watch my stuff, my content, I should say. So that was when
That's
it come
very
out, I could talk
fascinating.
more about it. But it was the person that the desk that it landed on. I was like, ooh, okay, you in the streets. You looking around to see what people talking about doing. Because they reached out to me and was like, hey, can we have you on? We seen your viral video, and then I end up doing the filming with them and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely something that is leading me to so many different pockets of you know platforms and podcasts and you know secret things that I'm doing. But yeah.
And so you mentioned Marilyn Monroe kind of being the
Mhm.
onset or the start of this spiritual journey. Was
Oh
that
yes.
one of your first spiritual encounters? And if it was, like, what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, so I would definitely say it was one of the most conscious ones for me, and I didn't learn it in the moment. I learned after the moment happened. Even though I'm still connected in with her, like I still connected with Marilyn's energy. So I was a sign model in When did I sign? I think I signed in 2014. I signed in 2014, so I was doing a lot of modeling work. Also a theater kid too, by the way, so I'm a trained actor too. So I ended up
Talk your
getting
shit.
signed. Okay, just I'm out here, but I ended up getting signed to this modeling agency, and I wanted to learn how to be photogenic. Even though this girl that I met through an internship for acting told me like, "Hey, you're photogenic. We was taking some pictures," and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, just like someone good at really, taking photos." So I ended up studying the most photographed woman, that everyone looks and tap into some way somehow. That's Black culture. We love Marilyn Monroe for some reason, and I had her plaster all over my wall, and I just watched everything on her, every documentary, read every book that I could find. And what I learned is that the camera is an entity itself, you know? So a lot of times, a lot of spiritual energy, a lot of times when you're taking pictures, sometimes people are focusing too much on the photographer. You got to actually focus on the entity of the camera. Forget the photographer, they're just holding it. Focus on the camera because the camera is the one that's going to get you the shots and all those good things, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's what she was teaching me. She also taught me about the internal light, which people that have superstardom and celebrity energy, we have a thing that's called the internal light. And when you want to turn it on, everyone's attracted to you. It's a very dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And certain celebrities in this day and age possess it, and certain ones you can just tell that they're kind of faking it. They're not really connected in with the light. Um, but through the journey of working with her, she invited me to her Astro home. And like I said, working with her is not like I was constantly like doing homework with her and stuff like that. Like working with her was consuming a lot of her content because your third eye is an altar. Anything that you put in front of your face 24/7, you go into that world. But you go into that world more on the spiritual terms before it becomes a physical manifestation.
Mhm.
So I took a nap one day. I'm now in this like marvelous big old 1950s type of mansion, marble steps. I'm in a like tuxedo, walking down the steps. In the foyer area, there's this table, and the doors open up, and I see this luminous blonde lady, and I'm looking and I'm looking. I'm like, oh shit, that's Marilyn Monroe, and she's walking in and she's illuminating, like literally, like it looked like so hard to explain, but it's like it looked like her skin was glowing.
Mhm.
That was the first one. So I woke up because I got excited, which is something that they teach people when they want to astral project. Don't get too excited, you're gonna wake up. So then I went back again, and it took off like a part two. And at this point, I'm now at the table. She's on the other side, and it's the little round table in the foyer. And I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and she was like, "Hi," the Maryland voice.
Yes.
And when she did it, I woke up again because I got excited. And
Because she spoke to you.
she spoke to me.
You was like, oh shit.
Yes, it gagged me. And then when
Yeah.
I realized that, so I want to say, now that was like 2014, 2015. 2020 is when I went to like a deeper aspect of my spirituality, and the gift really was like doing this thing. um, that's when I started to learn that people can work with spirits, people can work with SpongeBob if they want to, because it exists in the astral realm. People can work with um, Daffy Duck, anything that has a form of consciousness in it, you can work with it. And that's the thing that a lot of us as practitioners or spiritualists, as mediums, etc., we're aware of those things. So that's why you're very keen on what you're constantly digesting. That Zeus
Hmm.
network and all that stuff like that. Yeah, it's fun, it's entertainment, but it's also a certain type of energy that you're programming into your mind that then starts to become your reality. Now you get in fights.
Okay.
Now people want to, tussle with you a little bit, stuff like that. So it's you're constantly programming your subconscious mind.
Mhm.
But if you actually are tapping into things that are really more profound for the subconscious mind, it elevates the soul. Like I said earlier, like, the tears of souls. So yeah, I definitely was working and still work with Mel Monroe. But at that period of time, she was everywhere. everywhere. You couldn't, and even my family still gift me gifts of Marilyn Monroe stuff. So it's like you definitely have this moment where you do work with them, but sometimes you might not be as conscious as you would think you would be. Until you like, grow a little bit and switch out. It's like, oh shit, I actually was working with the spirit and never know it. But you also have to be due diligent as well because you can also have similar fates as well. So you got to make sure to, yes, you got to know when there's several ways as well.
Ooh.
But Marilyn is always here. Her energy is always here. I always feel her
Which
energy.
which lends itself into some of the I guess the folklore or the conspiracy theories around her death, her
Hmm.
being a gifted person here on earth, and
Yeah,
not just her beauty, but people were really drawn to Marilyn, and
yeah.
Marilyn
She
knew a
played with
lot.
glamour magic so well too. Yeah,
Say that again.
I said she played with glamour magic so well,
Which or for
which is like
herself
yeah, the
and
makeup. So the makeup, the process of how she did her makeup. Um, she read this book called A Thinking Body,
Mhm.
which it's about how you walk. Even your walk could be hypnotizing. Sometimes when guys will see even me, I see a woman and she, brick house and all. I'm like, well, okay now,
Yeah.
we in here.
Even we stop. Yes, we
You
if
shaking up
she's
the
that
building real quick.
girl, she'll make us
Yes,
stop. Yeah.
right. Because it's still that we still have that sense of, ooh, coming
Wow.
through us, even
Yeah.
if you're not
Yeah.
dating in those
Right.
particular areas of life.
Right.
But yeah, so it's like she read the thinking body. So the thinking body is when you walk and you feel like you have something that you're attached to, like there's something attached to the top of your head. So it's almost like you're gliding when you're walking, and she just learned how to really utilize the body as an instrument. Like body language was her thing. If she was a master of anything outside of glamour, it would be body language because she know what to do, how to do it, how to talk, how to present the body and stuff like that. And also, again, too much of it, people not taking it serious. But they think you're like a sex pot and stuff like that.
Do you think that glamour magic ultimately led to her demise or was contributed to that in terms of maybe not the magic directly, but the fact that what it did to particularly like men, powerful men,
Right.
and
Like the
again,
seduction of it.
yes,
I
yes.
think I think it's something because even as me being born on a Venus and stuff like that, and that's a very creative glamour magic planet as well. I think it contributes to it, but I think overall it was her masking her intelligence because she was very smart,
Mm.
you know, and she knew a lot about what was in those files and things that they were covering up and stuff like that. So I feel like
Mhm.
the magic and the glamour of her led her, obviously to the president and stuff like
To
that.
get access to
Um,
these things.
yeah, but it's like once she really was using her thinking cap, she became a threat because you're not a dumb blonde.
Right, because we know smart women are a threat to a lot of these men, even in 2026.
That part, that
So,
part, and I've always identified as a two-headed spirit in a sense of things. I never I'm born in a male host, obviously, but my energy has never been uh male or female. Has always been a mix of the
and we see
two.
that in your artistry, I feel like, in your
Yeah,
music. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and a lot of times people are drawn in by me or I'm feeling to watch me for a long time on the train. It's so much spiritual energy I'm feeling. And that's what they do too. When spirit want to talk, they start messing up my damn speech pattern. And I feel like there's a lot of your people want to talk to me as I'm talking to you.
Hey, y'all.
So I'm working through it. I'm working through it. Like child, they beating me up over
They
here.
loud too. I already know.
Yeah, but it's such a loving and beautiful energy that I feel though. But yeah, I get a lot of attention even when I dress up and stuff like that and going out and things like that. I feel like because also my body type and etc. I'm not like an up and down type person, a little curvage and stuff like that. So there's always I always get that very similarity to Marilyn where there's men that are just and I'm I'm engaged, child. I'm good.
Yeah.
But there's men that are always drawn to you, and I
Mm.
could feel when someone's like undressing me with their eyes. Like I could feel it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I can't really be on a train for too long. I'm like, oh my gosh, hurry up,
Because of the people staring you down.
because you feel it. You feel people. There's something about you that's different, and they're
Yeah.
drawn in on it.
That's very interesting. I tabled for an event for Philly Black Pride. I sit on the board. I
Yes,
tabled
come
for
on
them
now.
over the weekend at the convention center, and I
Hmm.
met someone there, and me and her just started talking, and we were just feeling each other. And she looked at me and she said, I just, who are you? Like,
Right.
she just looked at me. She's
She
like,
was tapping in.
there's something about you, and I appreciated that. And we, swapped Instagrams, and hopefully we're gonna catch up and have a drink. But then, I
Yeah,
thought about that when I got home, and not necessarily with her, but I thought about it in general. Like, Eric, you gotta be careful with that because people also
that
want to
is very
siphon
pricey
your
energy. Yeah,
energy, right? They want to,
yeah.
yeah, or they want.
People look around for your type of energy all the time because
Mhm.
yeah, you have what I always say. You have a certain type of light to you. Everyone doesn't really walk around with lights, and it's in or having that internal light on.
Right.
And sometimes people have it on and don't know how to like,
Mm.
turn it off and turn it on because then you're always attracting attention. But I feel like for someone of your particular stature, I feel that because you have a very big heart, you care about people. You're very you're very empathic with how you tap in with things. People can, you have an old spirit. People can feel it.
Mm.
Like, who are you? And stuff like that. And then it's also just the way you oversee things. And I don't want to let this turn into a soul session, but yeah, it's just mainly I can tell what she see because there is a light that I see. I can see your aura. I can see a blue aura around you as
It's
well.
blue.
So yeah, it's blue.
And I know the colors are significant, like it means different things.
Mm-hmm. It's
Okay,
definitely blue.
okay,
Write her
give me a
down.
little taste of the soul session that I'm gonna get with you, that I'm gonna book with
Yes,
you. Just give me a little taste. So
a
what does
little taste.
blue mean, like compared to any other color, I
I gotta
guess?
definitely go back to see exactly what blew me. I mean, I know it's not a bad thing, but I know what I feel the most with you is that you have a very wealthy energy to you, even though you have had. Because Spirit is telling me like you've had this period of time. I don't know if it was like mental battle or just battling with some mental
Childhood.
things, like just getting. It's like I'm trying to arrive to myself, but I'm also trying to
Yes.
forgive a lot of things that kind of jumped in and stuff like that. And if I feel like there's a lot of aspects of the childhood, like when I speak to you, that comes through the most.
Oh, I live in
You
my
know,
childhood. I daydream about my childhood all the time. I dream
yeah.
about my childhood all the time.
And I also could see like for some here, okay, because it goes deep. Like I feel like your younger self, if you ever had moments like when you were in a room by yourself or playing with toys or maybe playing a video game or doing kid things, and you felt like somebody was there,
Hmm.
or you felt like what the hell was that and stuff like that. I feel what Spirit is showing me is that was more of, this might sound crazy, but that was more of your futuristic self viewing your younger self. Like you always was aiding yourself along the way. Even when you would probably do things or about to do things and a voice would come in your head like, I don't think you should do that, or I don't think you should trust those particular experiences. I feel like what I see is like I'm seeing the older version of you looking after the younger version of yourself because
Wow.
time is not linear.
Right.
Not it adjusts and it exists in so many different pockets.
Wow.
And I feel with your energy, you have it's like you have the ability to be able to play with time a lot. Like it's not something that is harsh to you. It's something that you can actually work with. Things I can tell you more in the session, but it's something that you could work with. Like you have like almost like a mastery of time, as long as you're not thinking about it in a physicality aspect.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I can't wait to be in touch with you and we can talk more about that.
Yeah.
Because I spend a lot of time, like even when I dream about my
Hmm.
childhood, it's in the past, but it's in the future, if that
Yeah.
makes sense to
It
you.
makes total sense to me because that's what
So
you are. You are definitely someone that you're able to manipulate time in such a different way. It's like it's something that once you go more deeper into it, you're able to pull in other timelines that you actually want to experience a little bit more quicker than other people. Like being in tune with that is a gift. It's not something that, everybody could do, but I feel like even through you being a child and stuff like that, your future self was always observing.
Wow.
And that's why you always probably felt like, the hell's that? Or what was that? Or who was that? Because we're constantly playing with this thing called life. And once I learned years ago that time is not linear, it's not back and forth. No, it's in different pockets. So you're existing in different dimensions of self.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we're gonna go deeper in there. But you do have a blue aura. I do see that. And I think because you again, it could also just be because you have a very strong connected space to the dream world as well.
Yeah. I
So
really
that
feel like
dream
I
world
do.
have that very bluish, purplish, euphoric type color at times and stuff like that are those, you know,
When I
hypnotizing
dream
spaces.
seven, I feel like I'm experiencing and I'm existing in another world. Like when I
Yeah.
go to when I'm dreaming, I'm feeling like, oh, I get to go play. I get to go be away for a little while,
Yeah.
and I'll come back.
Yeah.
When it's
That's
time
literally like your
to
safe space. But
say that again.
something is like you're like what spirit keeps saying is like I keep feeling like in a way that you're a timekeeper. And I think that's something to go a little bit more deeper with, do some research on stuff. But it seems like you have a certain authority over time, and it always works in your favor, even when sometimes you're like, I don't know if I'm really gonna make this, but somehow you make it. You know, somehow you just somehow you just get there because you be adjusting time to your liking, and I
Hmm.
think that's the most powerful, um, prolific thing that someone can do when they're aware. Like when you're aware of your gifts, you bad. You better than Michael Jackson bad. Like when you're aware of the gifts. When people are not aware of their superpowers, they tend to live lives or be on timelines that they outgrew. It doesn't serve them purpose no more.
Hmm.
But once you know better, you do better. But yeah, take it in.
This is so
But it goes deeper than that.
fascinating.
Like way deeper.
This is so fascinating. We could go all night, but I
Yes.
have to respect your time. So I have just a few questions left for you. I
Okay.
wanted to ask you about your connection with Aaliyah. And
Hmm.
the reason why I wanted to ask that question was because, I was a huge Aaliyah fan. I was probably a stan growing up
Okay.
and just didn't know it. All the posters on my wall, all the CDs, like burning her music,
Yeah, you definitely
LimeWire,
connecting in with her.
Napster, you name it. However I needed to get Aaliyah, that's how I got Aaliyah. I stayed up
Hmm.
and watched her videos. I remember coming home and my father telling me, like, I saw on the news today that that girl that you really like, she died in a
Oh,
plane crash.
yeah,
I'll
it's
never
heartbreaking.
forget that. Aaliyah is also my Capricorn sister. I'm a Capricorn,
Okay,
and
Capricorn. All right
mhm,
now. My
I've
sister, my little
always.
sister's a Capricorn. Come on now, Earth
You said your
sign.
sister?
The my little sister, yes.
Oh, okay,
My and
yes.
my partner, he's a Earth sign as well. But yes,
Earth signs,
Earth
we
signs
something
love me.
else. We
Yeah,
something else.
Earth signs and fire signs always find me some way somehow. But yes, I love it.
I've always felt like there was some funny ish
Right.
around. Like, I just don't feel like Aaliyah died on a plane crash. I'm just like, no, there was something else going
Hmm.
on. I'm just curious in your connections and your conversations or your experiences with
Hmm.
Aaliyah. Has she shared anything or given you any insight into how she may have transitioned?
Yeah, when I tapped in with her, and I want to say this was probably a September, October class I did of last year. When I tapped in with her, she definitely let me know that she was sedated for one. Um,
And we heard
right.
that. I think a third party confirmed that
Yeah,
that Aaliyah was actually knocked out sleep
yeah.
when the
So
plane
her
crashed.
transitioning was very easy in the sense of um it just felt like waking up from a dream. Like she didn't really get the aspect of the actual, all those things happening. She got more so like waking up and like what's going on, stuff like that. But her transition outside of the physical body was smooth. That tends to happen with car crashes and things like that. You'll
When it's quick,
eject from the body immediately.
really.
Yeah, before our plane crashes in her sense. Yeah, because it's kind of like the soul is like, okay, impact about to happen. Let's get out of here. But I do.
Wait, what you just said, are you saying the soul actually leaves like like seconds before?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, and especially if someone's asleep. Yeah.
Because
So
usually
like for
we
her,
thinking, when we hear these stories or we have these conversations, it's you pass away and then your
oh
soul
no,
leaves your body.
they grab you out. The Guardians grab you out real quick. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. That's why I said like a lot of times when people do come to me and they have had like some very horrific things that happen to someone, like they passed, or I always reassure them like they good. They didn't even feel what you thought they felt. Like they're good. They was already out of the body. What they were doing was watching the scene itself.
Hmm.
Because then the soul has to also accept the fact that it's no longer in that body no more.
Hmm.
And that's why a lot of times certain souls would linger around Earth a little bit longer because they have to. And Aaliyah, obviously, she had a lot going on. She didn't want to leave that body. She just was getting the motions and things going. She was acting. She was, she had so much more to offer. But that whole experience was definitely orchestrated. And I have to look deep into my files and see if I could find that video. Because I did a video. I literally did a soul session with Aaliyah. I started off with Aaliyah, then I went into Whitney, then I went into Luther. Luther was the last one, and it was a very detailed session. Very detailed. And I went and confirmed a lot of things. The names that she told me and stuff like that. One of the guys that she mentioned immediately was one of the passengers, one of the people of her team that passed away with her as well. Um, it was so much. It was so much information. I don't know what it was, if she felt as though she was pregnant or if she was thinking about having children or so on and so forth, because she was leading me to that too around that time period as well. She did say Dame Dash, out of all the people that she dealt with, was the one that really seen her for her.
Hmm.
Like he really respected her and really seen her and
Yeah.
really protected her. Out of all the people that she dealt with.
Yeah. And you
You
can
know,
almost see that in those photos. When you look at those photos of them back
she
in
was
the
very
day,
happy with him.
you can
Yeah.
see that there was love there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very, 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 very connected to him, and he definitely was someone that I guess in many different ways showed her genuine love. Like he didn't treat her like how everybody else should treat her. He treated her like a regular person. Loved on her and so on and so forth. But she definitely brought him up. It was so much because she cried on the session. Everything like I gotta see if I can find this for you. I gotta see if I can find this for you because it's so much better when you see it yourself. Because there's so much details and things that come along these sessions that I do that sometimes I'm kind of like gagged when I go back and watch it, and I'm watching it to go take down notes of what I said to go confirm it. Go on the internet and write the names in to confirm exactly what it is. And I'm like, oh, okay, I was talking about this person, etc. So it's definitely a profound space, but she definitely is a soul that she knew that something was gonna happen.
Mm.
She didn't know exactly what,
But
but she
she
just knew that there was a lot going on around her.
really,
Yeah, like
I
in
feel like
regards
Whitney
to
knew too.
yeah, that part. Oh, and Whitney walked me through the hope, child. That's a whole nother a whole nother thing. But yeah, I gotta see if I can find that footage for you. Because that was definitely profound. And I tell people all the time, I said I do classes because I like to make sure that I'm not being censored. I don't want to be in a censored place when I'm doing a soul session. I want to be able to speak and talk and etc. without feeling like my live might be shut off because I'm saying certain people names. Now that
Oh, I got you.
Clive
Okay.
is no longer in his physical, expect a lot of more tea coming out. a lot of NDAs are now done. You know, but yeah, it's so much. It's a profound space though that I'm very humble for that I'm able to talk to these individuals that I watch. You know, and I get to know them, and her energy stayed with me for a while, and then it kind of left.
Mm.
But the day of me doing the class, her energy was strong. Like even when I was showering, she was trying to tell me things. I'm like, wait, let's wait for the session. It's almost like
You was like,
doing
hold
like,
on, girl.
yes, it's
We
almost
not there.
like doing like one of those big daytime, interviews. Like you're like, wait, let's wait till the cameras roll.
Okay,
you
Diane
know,
Carroll. Okay.
okay, very much. Barbara Walters had teens,
Yes.
just getting in. But there's so much there's so much stuff that you learn through spirituality that it does give you a peace of mind in regards to your journey. And like not taking things too serious, not overthinking your pattern of thoughts or if people exit your life. You learn, I always say this is spiritual, not personal, you know, because everything is really here to uplift you to another space where sometimes people might not see it in that way. They might think that it's taken away from you. Like, no, it's actually adding more to your life, you know, and really being more profound in that space. But yeah, a lot of energy is coming from you. So I'm trying to focus in, but trying to move around what's coming to me. But yes,
I'm gonna get my reading, y'all.
yes,
And I'm gonna
come
let y'all
on.
know how it go. So
Yeah.
let's wrap up with the last question because I just want to be respectful of your time. We could literally talk all night. I think you are
Hmm.
incredibly fascinating. And
Yes.
I'm already subscribed to your podcast, so I'm going to go back and just start binging your episodes. I guess my last question for you, you're already talking about there's so much that you learn. I think you just said that. There's so much that
Right.
you learn in this journey. And I
Hmm.
kind of want to end on that note. When you receive these messages from someone who has transitioned or even
Hmm.
people who are here when you're working with people and you're in these sessions, what have you learned about grief and just life in general that you think that the average day-to-day person may not understand?
Well, that's a definitely a very interesting topic, and it's something I did experience as well. I thought we grieve a lot of things, but I did experience in 2024. My ex took themselves out of alignment, and then a few months later, my grandmother ended up passing. But she told me a year prior she wasn't going to be here much longer.
Mm,
Um,
I'm
and the
sorry.
anniversary of when she told me is when she went to hospice care. I would say grief is something again like time is not linear. It's not something like one or da-da. It's kind of something that you you arrive to it in so many different aspects of it, especially the cycles of grief. But it's something that I feel like I learned so much through my 2024 version of myself, like right before my 30th birthday. I just learned how to shine even in the darkest aspects of time with things like with dealing with death and so on and so forth. But it also was something that propelled me forward in regards to knowing that their journey had to continue, you know,
Mm,
and we hold on to the memories and we hold on to the last conversations and so on and so forth. But in hindsight, that soul probably just was at its point of like, okay, I need to exit. I need to exit left. I need to get up out of here, even when it's in a spaces of like my ex, where he was very, very young, had so much more to give. But mental health is a big thing. It's a very serious thing in our community, and I feel like for me, grief taught me how to live again, but it also taught me how to embrace every aspect of a rebirth. Whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, etc. Like it allowed me to be at a perplexed place where I'm allowing myself to feel what I feel and not judge it and go through the cycles and really build myself up to a space of accepting that particular chapter of my life without feeling like I'm want to, because sometimes people rush to it or they try to rush to get to this healing space, and it's like healing's not linear either. Healing happens every day, and sometimes the people that you heal from or aspects that you heal from, you do it more in the astral realm than in your physical, day-to-day life. A
Mhm.
lot of things you're doing is in the spiritual realms. So then you wake up and like, I feel a little good today, because you did some work there, whether you were conscious or unconscious about it.
Got you.
But my biggest advice, I know I'm probably like wham bam 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 in this question. my big
No, you
my biggest
good.
advice for anyone that is going through grief or experiencing grief or just trying to, level it out, don't look at death as this it's done, because death is transitional too. It's just like a bike, it's just like a car, it's just like it's going to transport you to something. Look at it as a space of rebirth. And what are you learning from the rebirth? If you need to go and spend more time with those that you love because now you feel like, oh, I didn't really spend as much time as I feel like I should have with that person or those individuals, learn from it, you know, but don't beat yourself up for it either because we be having our own things going on.
Right.
Ooh, my phone. Can you hear me? Okay.
Oh yeah,
My
you
phone,
good.
30%. I gotta throw on the charger. But yes. Um, I would say that that's where I would end it at. Death is a rebirth. It's a transporting space, and don't let it be the thing that stop you from living because you don't really die. You just keep going
You
in
keep
your spiritual
going.
journey
It's like a journey. You're being transported to the next station,
to the
the
next
next
the next
stop.
coordinate, next coordinate, next coordinate. Yes.
That's really great advice for people dealing with grief. I know it's personal for me and a lot of people who are listening. So thank you, Seven. Thank you for being here.
Thank
I've
you.
really enjoyed this conversation with you. I cannot wait to book my session with you. So I will be in
Yes.
touch
Come
with
on.
you very soon, this coming week for
Yes.
that. Before you get up out of here, though, Seven, again, just remind the people where they can find you on social media, where they can listen to your music and find your podcast.
Yes. So you can find me at on the at sign SEV the number 7ENTAYLOR on all different platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook if you really want to add me up there. And Twitter or X. Or you can Google me and it'll pop up as well. You can find my music on all digital musical platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, etc. If you want to book sessions with me, I would say definitely DM me on either Instagram or TikTok, and we'll set up those things from there. Website is definitely being updated right about now. But if you feel more comfortable going on my website, then go ahead. I ain't gonna stop you from there. But it's more direct to me when you do it through the DMs. Um, and yeah, if you're not doing anything right about now, if you don't feel like you are at a place that you need to be at or experiencing things that you need to experience, give yourself the grace that another day is coming. Another time is coming. Another moment is coming. Don't sorrow too much in today because tomorrow is brighter than today in most cases. I don't know why especially this came to me, but yes,
It means that it was a
it just
message
came to me out
that
of nowhere.
needed to be shared.
Yes, it needs to be shared. Yeah,
And that's
it's
why
some
I
dark
just love
times for
you.
people. So I feel like when you do go through a rebirth and really accept that rebirth in your life, because you're always going to go through a rebirth. You're always going to find something to change or to evolve from. Do not run from it. Embrace it. Do not
Hmm.
run from your ego death. Embrace it. And if you want more information on that, hit me up.
Yes. Hunger Pie fam, that was Seven Taylor. I will be sure to drop all of his links in the episode notes. Be sure to support and all of that good stuff. I appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
here, friend. And it's
I
not going to be
appreciate
the
it
last
too.
time. That was another episode, y'all. Thank you for listening to the Hunger Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Cole. Be sure to follow the Hunger Podcast wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, wherever. And you can also find me on YouTube at The Hunger Podcast. I'm trying to build my page. I got to be a little bit more disciplined and committed, holding myself accountable. I will get
Okay.
on it. And also on TikTok. So again, just thank you for being here. And that's a wrap, y'all.
Thank you so much
Peace.
for having me. It was a delight.